talking about Madang, they were generalising that the problems we have in Madang today are the same problems that...
As an observer, Sir Peter Barter says the Manam Islanders have been largely rejected by landowners on the mainland, despite the then Winti-Chian government saying to have purchased plantations to relocate them. Landowners argue they were never consulted, so all attempts to have them resettled to date have failed. Reflecting back on how Manam Islanders used to live, Sir Peter Barter says they had a health centre at Bian staffed by Holy Spirit sisters and nurses with 8 posts around Manam that were run by the Catholic Health Agency. Whilst the economy was limited to copra, the Manam people lived well with fertile gardens, access to productive gardens on the mountain slopes, and water. Most of all, they enjoyed a rich cultural heritage and relationship with each other, but kept under control through a number of hereditary kukurai system assisted by their sangumen, who practice a system of government similar to the people from North Coast Madang, Lower Sepik and Muruk Lakes. For more than 40 years, Sir Peter Barter has been visiting Manam with thousands of tourists, initially on the Melanesian Explorer and later on the Melanesian Discoverer, and earlier this week aboard the Kalibobo Spirit. During the recent visit, they spent a day at Boisa, where the estimated 700 people continue to live in relative safety of Manam Island, which is currently erupting, sending dust over the southwest section of Manam and Boisa during the southeast-northeast trade winds. They continue to be short of water during the dry season and have little economic activity other than fishing and the small numbers of tourists who make it to Boisa. Tourist Taylor Evanson remarked, "Why on earth don't more tourists visit Madang? It is a magnificent destination. The people are so friendly and the diving is superb." On arrival at Manam Island, Sir Peter's first question was to ask how many people back on Manam. They answered, thousands. They claim that at least 4,000 have returned in desperation of not having any future on the mainland, and from the violence they had experienced living in the various care centers on the mainland, and despite the difficulties, they felt more secure back on Manam. Manam Islanders want to take their case to the UN Human Rights Commission in the hope to draw attention to the problems they have experienced at the care centers and will continue to experience until the future is assured. Sir Peter is calling on Prime Minister Peter O'Neill and his government to establish an effective system to look after the immediate, short and long-term future by negotiating with mainland landowners for them to legally occupy the plantations purchased for resettlement, including Nubia Plantation, which was made available by the Wewak Catholic Diocese for the purpose of resettlement. Maybe even looking at resettlement of the Manam people on Long Island, which is vastly underpopulated. As a tourist operator, Sir Peter Barter says he continues to be amazed with the LNG development, which will develop and consume our gas resources, yet the potential of tourism, a resource that is renewable, has been almost totally overlooked. Meredith Kusa, National EMTV News.